yourself that you have the strength and the courage to be free.
Join the Helldivers. Become part of an elite peacekeeping force. See exotic new life forms. And spread managed democracy throughout the galaxy. Become a hero. Become a legend.
Throughout the history of games, insects and entomology has always been a key inspiration within game design, many taking on different insects and arthropods and creating their own twist to add into their fantasy or sci-fi setting. In this video, I will be talking about the relations between insects and Arrowhead Studios' hit game Helldivers 2. In the game, you are met with one of three core enemies, the Terminids, a hive-mind insect-like enemy, which overrun many worlds, and your main goal being to defeat and destroy the hive to stop the invasion of insect-like aliens. While these organisms exist in a fictional setting, their design and collective behavior draw striking parallels to real-world entomology. Let's start with swarm behavior. On Earth, insects like ants and terminids don't act as individuals, they behave as a superorganism. Just one giant creature made up of thousands of tiny ones. Not one single ant knows the big picture, but their colony still works perfect. They can build structures, find food, and defend their nests without needing a leader. Terminids operate in a very similar way. They don't have commanders directing them. Instead, they each follow their own instinct, and then when they react to signals, they can react to danger. And when you combine thousands of these simple behaviors, you get a swarm that looks organized in intelligence. Most insects communicate using chemical signals called pheromones. These pheromones can do a lot. They can mark paths to food, they can signal danger, or tell other insects to gather to a certain spot. For example, termites release an alarm pheromone that when they are threatened, within seconds the entire colony can respond. And ants can leave scent trails that hundreds of others can follow with incredible precision. Terminids clearly use a very similar system. When one detects danger, they can send a pheromone signal that individuals can react to almost instantly. It feels almost like telepathy, but it's just very fast chemical communication. Another major connection between terminids and real insects is the idea of castes. In many insect species, not every member looks or behaves the same. Ant colonies are a perfect example. You have workers, soldiers, drones, and queens, all with different body shapes and rules. Terminids mirror this in a very close fashion. Some are very small and fast, some are big and heavily armored, and others are usually there to reproduce. Many of this physical specialization with the different body types within the species is very similar to that of ants and termite colonies. Terminids, like real insects, have exoskeletons. The exoskeletons are protective armor made of chitin that can provide structure, shield against injury, and then make powerful movements impossible. On Earth, many beetles, mantises, and other insects also have an exoskeleton. Terminids are pretty much the same, but they just scale the concept. They have large plates and reinforced limbs, and many of them have segmented armor, which we can see that are very exaggerated versions of many real arthropods. So while the size of terminids isn't realistic, but the design is very closely related to insect biology. A defining feature of terminids is their massive numbers. One of the features of insects. Termite queens lay thousands of eggs per day. Locusts go from small groups to gigantic swarms in very short periods, and ant colonies can hold millions of ants. This rapid reproduction is one of the reasons insects are the most successful animals on our planet. Terminids follow this model very closely. Their overwhelming models give them huge advantage, just like real insect swarms. Finally, many of the terminid weapons come from real insects, such as the bombardier beetles, which can spray boiling chemicals at predators that attack them. Wasps can deliver venom from their stingers. Driver ants use their overwhelming numbers to overpower their prey. And termites building complex structures, hives. When we see terminids with acidic attacks, powerful jaws, or heavily armored bodies, they aren't just random. They're from the evolutionary solutions that already exist in this world. If evolution had millions of years on another planet, it's entirely possible it could produce creatures that use very similar strategies on a very larger scale. So while terminids are fictional, but the biology behind them is very closely related to real insect science. Their swarm behavior, communication, their reproduction and specialization and defenses all reflect strategies that insects use on Earth. By studying real-world entomology, we can see fictional creatures draw from natural designs and why they could feel so believable.